It's a Club World Cup over in the US, and it's producing the odd shocker too. Al-Hilal dumped Manchester City out at the last 16. So let's have a look at that now, courtesy of DAZN.
FIFA Club World Cup Roundup on talkSPORT, presented by DAZN. Watch every game of the FIFA Club World Cup live and for free on DAZN. Sign up now at DAZN.com.
So, have the Premier League just been given an almighty embarrassing Saudi slap? 2 goals in extra time from Al-Hilal sees them beat Manchester City 4-3 and move into the last 8. Before we get Simon's take, this is Pep's take post-match.
Yeah, it's a pity because we have been in incredible journeys here together. We have been in a so good place. The vibe was really good, and I can say not thank enough to the staff, backroom staff, and especially the players, how they training, how they play in every single game, giving everything. The margins as winners, so it's true that they run at conditions a little bit, but the way we create was a lot in set pieces and in actions. Bono making incredible saves. Nothing to say. We would have loved to continue because it's not easy to be here once every 4 years. And we were there. I had the feeling that the team still have that feeling that the team is doing well. But yeah, we go home and now time to rest, to refresh our minds, and we come back for the next season.
I mean, fair enough. He's trying to gloss over it a fair bit, in my view. Is this a statement result for the Saudi Pro League, Simon, and those who are sniffy towards it?
Possibly. Is it a moving of tectonic plates in world football? It's a moment in time. It's a moment in time when the Saudi Arabians beat Argentina at the World Cup, who went on and won the World Cup, the Argentinians. And so you look at this result in isolation and say, yeah, it's a shot in the arm. The Saudis will take enormous pleasure from this. It's a tournament to some extent that's being backed by the Saudis. And of course, Infantino would be snivelling up to them instantaneously by saying the new era of football has definitely started.
Yeah.
Because he knows where his bread's buttered.
What do you think that means? Do you think he's serious about that?
Well, I think what it does is he knows there's an enormous amount of investment in sport. He knows that the Saudi Pro League is enormously invested in by the Saudi state. He knows that DAZN are a broadcaster that have been in part bought by Saudi. He knows that some of the money behind this tournament is Saudi money. So he's cozying up to the money in the same way he cozies up to Trump. The reasons why the World Cup is in America is not because the Americans are natural home for football. It's because Donald Trump in his first presidency did a deal that suggested to FIFA they'd get 15 billion out of this World Cup. So they ran towards the money, and Infantino is running towards the money. Now, does it suggest that Saudi should be taken more seriously? Well, nobody's not taken them seriously, but what people have railed back against is the hysteria that they're going to break up the game, that they're going to feature in the Champions League, that everything's going to be on their terms, and that they are going to destroy or dominate football. And when I hear Ronaldo talk about who's paid to say these sort of things, he isn't paid £200 million a year or whatever he's paid.
340.
Right, okay. I mean, these
That's the new wage.
These obscene scales of money.
Yeah.
For saying anything other than that he believes is one of the top 5 leagues in the world. So who does he believe it's better than? Does he believe it's better? He can't believe it's better than the Premier League. He can't believe it's better than La Liga. He can't believe it's better than Serie A. He can't believe it's better than Bundesliga. So the current European champions are in Liga in France. So does he believe it's better than Liga? And does he believe it's better than Eredivisie? Does he believe it's better than the Portuguese league? Maybe. But I think at this moment in time, what it is the reasons why people are a little bit sniffy about it is because they don't like the economics of what the Saudis are doing. And there's nothing constructive about it. If you're going to turn around to people and say, I'm going to pay you £250 million a year, £350 million a year, tax-free to kick a football around, you are going to upset the apple cart of the ecosystem of football, which is held together in a very fragile state anyway. So people are going to turn around and say, well, that's not particularly palatable. Why don't you do it on your own merit rather than buy everybody, pay them 7 times what they're worth, and ultimately create an absolute uproar? And then other people would say, well, there's an element of that's what the Premier League did. So you pay your money, takes your choices,
of course,
but not to this quantum. I still believe that players are transient. Ronaldo will go into a football club, and whilst I make the observations that social media and the followers of social media now follow footballers more than they follow the Pope, the fact is that footballers are transient. Clubs have legacies, and in order to make something very successful, you have to have these very valuable football clubs. I don't mean economically. I mean in heritage, in history, in legacy, and in performance. And we are a long way away from Saudi Arabia having that. but they're on their pathway, and it's all part of the tapestry of football.
See, Ronaldo, even though he's gone on to this new wage of, yes, £340 million a year, he sticks to his story. He's saying, no, you don't get the Saudi Pro League. He's saying only the people who have never played in Saudi Arabia and know nothing about football say this league is not top 5 in the world.
But again, I make the point. Okay,
he's saying you're not getting it. No, this league technically is very good.
What he's saying is if you haven't kicked a football, you're not able to have an opinion on it, right? It's the same. It's a cut from the same cloth, right? So again, Cristiano. So which leagues out of the 7 or 8 leagues that I've just announced are likely to be considered the biggest domestic leagues? And I haven't even got into the South American contingent, right?
Yeah.
So which of these leagues would you consider the Saudi Pro League is bigger and better than? And then if you want to make that case to all of us that don't know football, that haven't spent our time studying it, and neither would you, my old son, if you weren't getting paid £350 million a year, you'd be somewhere else. So let's get it right. The fact that they're having to pay this enormous amount of money to be able to get people there, in fact, detracts away from the opportunity of suggesting that you take it that seriously. But you take it seriously because of the economic power of Saudi.
Yeah, wait a minute, Simon. Ronaldo knows what he's talking about, does he not? Or at least he should do. Well, he's played in Portugal. He's played, of course, in England.
Right.
He's played in Spain.
Okay.
He's played in Italy.
Okay, so are we then...
So the bottom line is, I know what you're getting to. So and you're right. The money's enormous, and the money is making him make these noises. Having said that, might not just be onto something when he says this league is growing all the time. It's getting stronger and stronger.
Of course it is.
Maybe it is.
Of course it is. If you're spending this kind of money,
they just embarrassed Manchester City.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously Juventus didn't feel that that Ronaldo was something they wanted to keep on in their league. If you want to make the case, and I don't care whether the Saudi Pro League is better or not, quite frankly, it's no skin off my backside. The fact of the matter is that if you're going to make these sort of statements, you make them from an objective point of view rather than a subjective point of view. If you weren't sitting there being trotted out at every Saudi event, being utilised as a Saudi state asset to be able to monetise their sports and utilise the things that they want to achieve, I'd take you more seriously.
Yeah, but you might say you've got a European bias.
I don't have any bias. I couldn't care less. If the best football's in Saudi, then fantastic. If the best football's in America, is fantastic. Actually, when I went to America, I became a convert of the way that the Americans do sport, and rather than having the sniffy European attitude towards relegation, I got more of the vision of the reasons why it works in those spaces, and the reasons why the seasons are more competitive, and the reasons why you see more winners in all the different American sports. But you tell me which one of these leagues, of the 7 that I've just listed, that the Saudi Pro League, in all good conscience, is better, and tell me the metrics of why, and I'll be happily convinced, because I'm not interested in having an argument with anybody.
Luke, get Ronaldo on the phone, would you? After all the praise post-Juventus, Simon, when they beat them 5-2, are Manchester City, can we really say they're still back? They're back.
But the problem for me is, in conversations that I have, is I don't manage everything in the instantaneous moment. I look at things.
No, but this could be a significant moment.
No, but I don't think it is, and I don't think
turfed out the Club World Cup by Al-Hilal.
But I didn't think beating Juventus.
Maybe losing the final.
Okay, well, let me answer the question. I don't think beating Juventus was a significant moment. You might, and other people that were writing narratives around the fact that Man City were back, and I don't think they're not back after losing to Al-Hilal. Do I think Man City have got some work to do? Yes. Did I think Man City were going to come rocking back over the horizon next season and suddenly march off for the Premier League? No, I didn't. So this idea that I have to, like everybody else does, be lazy enough to go, instantaneously, he's a hero. Instantaneously, he's a zero. That's not how it should work. Manchester City have got to rebuild themselves, and because we want to compartmentalize everything into instantaneous gratification, I think it's nonsense. Man City.
I think you look at it for what it is.
But it's not.
They get dumped out last night by Al-Hilal. They didn't see it coming,
and that's fine, and that's a bad result. But you're not asking me that question. You're asking me if they're back. This is not a sprint. It's a marathon. They've got a 38-game season coming up in the Premier League. If they lose in the first game of the season, have they lost the league? No. So my point is that we have to take things in isolation. It's a fabulous result for the Saudis. In the same way it was a fabulous result for the Saudi Arabians to beat Argentina in the World Cup. It's an announcement in a competition that, by the way, you and everybody else around think is a waste of time anyway. And we've listened to the backdrop of people saying they can't be bothered to be there. We've tried to psychoanalyse the motivations of the manager. We had Danny Murphy sitting in here saying the other day that Atletico Madrid couldn't care less. Now we've got people saying that people should be deeply invested. Make your bleeding minds up.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.